The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance, and we are underway from Ford Field. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Play action. Now it's Murray. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Oh, Brown, a nice catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Murray from midfield. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for 6.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This will be taken at the 10. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. And now off to the races. races down the right side. Touchdown. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. To throw, it's Murray. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on second and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on third. Murray going to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Patrick Queen providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Taken in at the 22. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Herbert operating from the red zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. To throw is Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Murray now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 6. Throwing now is Murray. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And the Cardinals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try the left side. It's Cole, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down. It's Cole, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Murray now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They struggled with a few drives. So far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing. Because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works, sometimes they're ready for you, and that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Eluding the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Try to punch it in with Taylor. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated it.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Jonathan Taylor, 57 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's 21-3. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. On 2nd down now, it's Cole. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Play fake, Murray. Nifty move. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
They'll run on first down. Cole. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On play action, it's Murray. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And Detroit getting set to go now. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
96 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Here's Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Lions are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Patrick Queen.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Murray. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, it's Cole, and he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
The Lions now taking over late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead.
He's got a man complete. He's at the 30. 10.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
A big play there just before halftime. 88 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now it's Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game.
first half touchdowns. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. First down, Murray. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Queen able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. A final shot before half from Murray. His throw incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And this one already a 2-touchdown game as they've just gone to halftime. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Brandon Cooks, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run once more with Taylor. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 113 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, it's Herbert. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions extend their lead yet again. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is end of the weekend in the NFC. Now, the current playoff picture, and you can see they are one of those 3 wild card teams, at least for the moment, but they have not clinched that spot, Charles. And look, their message has been clear. We're keeping our foot on the gas to the very end.
And how about the theater and the drama that's involved, partner? The best part, we've got a front row seat to it all. And I think this is obviously the ultimate goal when they added a 7th seed to the playoffs back in 2020. More drama, more teams in it late in the season, and more...
Murray fighting, lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball. And unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Tackle made by Chase Young. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Murray. Got a man. It's Brown. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 17-yard line. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On 1st down, Cole. And he stopped immediately there. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cole. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Come on now, let's do this.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit.
Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
A big play there for Detroit. 71 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Here's Herbert. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Herbert now. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 4 yards out.
And the Lions have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Patrick Queen.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game. Even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he's got to hook up to Moore. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
You rarely call your punter a weapon weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty...
He's got a man complete. He's at the 40, past the 20.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
A big play there on the catch and run. 98 yards, so close. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring them indeed with that score alone. A try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Murray now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw going to be caught by Davis.
They find some open field here. Touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards.
And the Cardinals are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Another shot now for this Lions offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. Lovie Smith, he's seen plenty of challenges in his time as a coach, and he's going to throw the red flag on this one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So Lovie saw things correctly, and he wins that challenge.
Throwing again on second down.
Herbert. That pass caught. It's Williams finding room at midfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now they're in the hurry-up.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Rolling to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. They snap it to Herbert. And in for the Lions touchdown.
Jamison Williams
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense takes back over. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the... Murray fighting, lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Murray has it knocked loose, fumble, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are...
Murray fighting, lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Lions extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. The extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. From the gun, Murray. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Aiden Hutchinson, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Able to slither by. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for another look at this Lions offense. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right?
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you get contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
So out now come the Cardinals.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Looking to throw. Murray. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now Murray again. Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. On 2nd and 10. Murray over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw again.
Giving the football to Davis on an out route. Down inside the 10.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah. I agree with you totally on that one.
So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
They're going to pass here with Herbert. He'll buy some time right. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Herbert.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Cards come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Detroit, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0, and they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, their playoff